Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of This Is Gonna Die. My name is Nicholas. I'm here with James and Lorenzo. We're three guys you've never heard of, telling you stories you have no interest in hearing.
What to do?
Today we're probably gonna keep this episode a little short and a little casual. We're not gonna be talking about anything big in the news. We're merely gonna be saying shit that's happened with us recently, giving you more of a inside look on how we are and who we are. Either one of y'all have anything on your mind y'all want to talk about?
I have so much to talk about.
There's like a lot.
Like a lot of
A
things.
lot of things.
Like, a lot. What about you, James?
So the little plastic tip at the end of our shoestrings and jackets,
Got an aglet?
aglet, yeah. Who the fuck named it that?
Wait, it's called an aglet?
Yeah.
I learned that from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a really weird thing to know the name of. That's one of those things where like I feel like it's almost unnecessary to know the name of that thing unless you're kind of in that industry.
The industry of making aglets.
An aglet? How do you spell that? Aglet.
I would assume it's like somewhere AGLET. I probably would.
Or L-I-T?
I don't know.
Aglet. I don't know. That's weird.
So how was y'all's weekend?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Eventful, very eventful, actually.
Yeah, actually, dude. Normally, I try to be as lazy as possible throughout the weekend. I work at a very, like, I would. It's not as labor inducing as like construction, but I'm constantly moving. I'm constantly living or lifting.
You're constantly living?
That's
such a burden.
I
Yeah,
want a job where I don't get to live.
Yeah.
I want a job where I don't have to live.
All that breathing shit,
Yeah.
I'm a little tired of it.
Yeah. No, I lift a lot when I'm at work, and so typically on the weekends I'm as lazy as fucking possible. But no, this weekend was like way too exciting for me.
What'd you do?
Me and James, we actually went to a show and saw a band neither of us have ever heard before.
Yeah, I got a couple of invites from some friends to go to the show, and I haven't been to a local show probably close to a year, maybe. It's been a while, so it was interesting. The only other person that went with me is walking away from the table. It was cool. The environment's always cool. Everyone's very non-judgmental, and I enjoy it, but I don't at the same time. I feel like I'm too old. I'm too responsible to be there sometimes. But I also really enjoy how the relaxation of not having to worry about anything and getting out, like, slamming into people and throwing people around and shit. It's just, I don't know. There's just something where you can just kind of be yourself there and not worry about anything. It has its good and bad. I feel out of place when I'm at these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, I've always, not always, but for the last couple of years, I've always felt out of place when I go to these shows.
It's just one of those things where me and James, we used to go to shows like on a weekly basis. Every weekend we were going to see, somebody, and it was always people we knew. And now that we're a little older and we stopped going to shows, like it's kind of weird because like the environment felt comfortable for me. Like the other night when we went. The environment itself felt familiar, but I felt awkward because, for one of the first times, I went to a show where I didn't know the words to anything they were singing. And it's kind of weird being at a concert and all you could really do is go, fuck yeah, because you don't know anything else they're singing. It was a band I had never heard before. I mean, they were decent. Wouldn't call them a great band, but I wouldn't call them a bad band.
That's just punk's thing in general, though.
Yeah.
There are some great punk bands, but for the most part, their whole thing is not being great.
Yeah, it's like they intentionally don't want to be great. The intent is to be as mediocre as possible.
Yeah. Didn't you say somebody told you, like, I don't care about how it sounds. I just don't, I just...
Yeah, I don't want to go too far into that.
Well, isn't that like
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
Didn't you say that's like the general idea with that genre?
That is, especially with the younger people, the whole thing, like, to me, I'm going to a show because I want to hear music. Yeah, I'd love to see my friends, man. That's awesome. I love socializing in a public place like that with music and shit. But if the fucking audio sucks, or the band sucks, or the audio sucks, it kind of kills a lot of it for me.
Yeah.
But that's a total punk rocker thing. To just be like, I hope it sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to
Turn the distortion up to 11, and all you have to do is play loud and fast.
Yeah, no, there's a problem with that, man. Because I love punk. Like, I really do. There's so many bands that they blow me away, and I love them. But at the same time, like, the punk culture and a lot of the people, I would say the very majority of them, I find them annoying. But there are some really fucking cool people. Like, I've met not all my friends out, but one of the people I've met was Chris, and his band was performing. Him and his brothers were in a band, and that's how I met them, and some other people. Hector too. That's how I met Hector. I've met everybody through local shows, man, and all those people are cool, man. But then there's just the vast majority are kind of like they're hard to deal with sometimes.
Well, I feel like you get that with anybody of any type of genre of music, you know, because I can tell you that there's been plenty of people who like EDM, for instance.
Oh yeah.
A lot of that music I just can't get into. Like that like what you say, like turning up the distortion up to as high as you can and just playing loud and fast. It's exactly how I feel about that kind of music. You know, it's even worse though to me because you're making it from a computer, and that's exactly like the type of people I know that go to those type of events. That's exactly how they feel. They're like, oh, I don't even care how it sounds. You know, I'm just into the environment of it all, which I get to a certain point, but.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can go out, like how you can leave the concert, not be in the concert and in that environment and still think it's good music.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. For me, it depends. Like, I'm a big fan of EDM, but I think it highly relies on the quality because it's very bassy, and if you get shitty quality, that bassy turns into this annoying thump.
Yeah. I think with EDM, it's all about production.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
has to
you
be.
can't, you know, not produce it well and still produce a good song, you know? For EDM, it's all about how well you produce it. Because it's not like, you know, punk music or rock music or metal where, you know, it's all about distortion. The distortion, you know, it's supposed to sound sloppy. It's supposed to sound nasty.
Yeah. That's weird to me.
How do y'all feel about the local scene here in Houston now when it comes to shows?
You've been a little out of it for quite
Yeah,
a while.
I can't
Well,
really
like,
say, but when I was in it a couple of years ago, like just going to every fucking show I could, there's a lot of complaints, mostly from the punk bands, that people are just not loyal to the scene.
Yeah.
People, because back in the day, in the 80s, man, if you wanted to fucking hear a new band, you'd have to go to these shows, buy a ticket, and go wait outside, socialize with other humans. Nowadays, you just go on their fucking Reverb Nation or YouTube page, whatever the fuck they're using.
Yeah.
And I do know that they have trouble getting people to come out. Like, people do complain about it a lot. Or another problem with local shows is people will come for their friends' bands, and they'll leave after they're done playing, or they'll just stay in the very back, like outside, and they won't like.
Yeah, like if you get invited to go see a friend's band, you know, you won't show up till the band starts, and then the minute they're off the stage, you'll leave. You didn't see any bands before them, you didn't see any bands after them, and it kind of discourages that kind of music, especially in the local scene.
Yeah, but you know, when I first started to go, I would watch every single band. Like when I was really younger, I didn't care who they were. I'd watch every band. I would pay respect. But after towards the end, like when I kind of faded out of going, I started doing that too. I'd go in the back and I'd wait until my friends showed up. But at the same time, you know, it's like it's not really anybody can complain because that's when my friends' bands would play. They were usually, for the most part, they were headlining these shows.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would be gone. And to me, I thought they were the best fucking band there. Not just because they were my friends, but I thought they had the best fucking songs. Like, I just thought they were the most talented bands there. So I can't complain that other people would leave because I did too. And I think when you get older, you just kind of start losing care. So I don't know how good the punk scene is right now.
What is y'all any interesting experiences when y'all performed? Because I know both of y'all have performed in various bands and various places and local scenes and stuff like that.
For me, I've been in several different bands, but I've only played a handful of gigs with them, and most of them were the ones that I was in the band with your girlfriend. And
It's Paula.
yeah, shout out to Paula.
Shout out to Paula.
Shout out to Paula and our old band DOA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I doubt.
That was the punkest of bands.
Oh god. Yeah. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
No, we had fun. To be honest, like it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I mean, we got out there, we played some shows, we had fun, but nothing crazy really came out of that. But as a fan, I mean, I have a lot of stories of, when I went to shows and saw other bands, and all the experiences that they gave us.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy shit. I've been I've seen people get fucking hauled out by the cops and
Yeah.
emergency rooms, and that's just for local shows where there's like 50 people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at that one dive that you and Crystal used to go to.
Oh, Little Cardi's?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not around anymore. But yeah,
No, that one closed down a long time ago. But
yeah,
wasn't there like a 16 or 17-year-old kid who almost died of alcohol poisoning or something there?
I don't know how close he was to death per se, but I know he was pretty young, 15, 16, I think.
Yeah.
He goes by Noodles. And,
Oh, did you actually know him?
No, I talked to him a couple times at shows, but he became really like infamous later on at other shows.
Oh, really?
And that's when I started talking to him, because he'd be walking by there and be like, Noodles, and then somebody would tell the story.
Why'd they call him Noodles?
I don't know. Oh, just because of his hair. His hair looked like ramen noodles, pretty much.
Nice.
But yeah, at one show, I think this was like maybe the first, second, or third times I was at this venue, and this kid, he's just fucked up. He's just shit faced. There's more to the story. Hector knows the rest of it, but I know at one point he jumped up on the stage, and he grabbed a microphone stand and was like screaming along to the words and shit. But I don't think he realized that there was no microphone actually there.
Nice.
And at some point, I think the cops were called due to a noise complaint. And when they got there, they found this kid who's underage, just shit faced, and they had to take him away. And Hector knows more to this story than I do. I'm sure that dude has tons of show stories and stuff.
Yeah, we should have him as a guest on the podcast, like as an actual designated guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who heard the apology of James.
Yeah. Should we go into that a little bit?
Yeah, let's go into that.
We'll take a few minutes to explain that. I didn't explain I didn't want to go into great detail. But here's my this is how I feel about it is I feel like certain things were said that weren't talked about in years, and like now that they're actually coming out and the words were coming out, we were saying it, these actual events. Well, I was like, "Fuck, man, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's like really bad. I can't be associated with that."
We did record a third episode, not this as the third episode. There was actually an episode that we recorded that was intended to be the third episode, and this one actually had both Chris and a buddy of ours, Hector. We've mentioned him a few times already, but he's a great friend of ours. We've known the guy for years. He's genuinely nice guy. But we had the both of them on, and man, I've never known Chris to be that racist. We had to cancel the show. He just would not stop talking about every ethnicity there was.
Yeah, I wish he would have just stayed dead.
Yeah. I mean, rest in peace, Chris, man. Chris Bonsuelos.
For those not in the know, the running joke of Chris being the most racist person we know, it's humorous because he's obviously not racist whatsoever. He's actually married to an African American woman. He's like easily one of the nicest fucking people in the world.
It's a perfect cover.
I don't know. I for one think we should have a contest of who's nicer between him and Hector. See which one of them is the nicer guy. I think that'd be entertaining.
Man, it's gotta be Hector, dude.
Easily.
It's gotta be Hector.
I mean, Chris is a nice guy and all, but
he's racist.
He's a racist. Hector, man, that's a nice guy. Everything about him is nice.
Yeah, that dude's like
if I had kids, I'd let him babysit them. He's so nice.
If God sent a person down here, like he was like, "Oh, the thing with my son messed up. I gotta send someone else." He would send Hector down.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Hector's
all about turning the other cheek.
I've never seen that dude get violent or say. I mean,
yeah, exactly. He hasn't.
No, man.
I've challenged him to fist fights. He won't even do that.
I've seen things with Hector.
Yeah, Hector's a super nice guy. Chris is too. Hector maybe just a little bit more, just because he's like, I don't know, how do you put it?
We're definitely gonna have a contest about this.
Yeah.
We're gonna have them
Have a
exchange.
nice off?
Yeah, a nice off.
Nice.
We're gonna have them exchange compliments to
Yeah.
each other, and the first one to run out of them loses.
Oh, dude, that'll be our first ever 6-hour episode.
Dude, Hector's gonna win in a heartbeat. First compliment. Hector's just gonna stare into Chris's eyes and give him the sweetest, most genuine compliment he possibly can. And Chris's heart is gonna melt right out of his fucking chest.
He's gonna surrender at that
Yeah.
moment.
His heart's just gonna skip like 8 beats. He's just like, I've never recognized myself as that great. Thank you, Hector. Chris is gonna turn his life around, all out of this fucking contest.
This would be a great episode.
Yeah. Next time on This Is Gonna Die, watch Chris turn his life around based on the words of Hector.
I like how you're saying turn his life around as if there's something wrong.
Well, of course, he's a fucking racist.
Yeah, that guy's really racist.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hate them both, though. I really do. They're both just way too fucking nice.
Kiddo, I would like to talk about something else short. Borderlands, the video game on
Oh,
PS4.
yes.
Listen, I have a fucking problem.
You need your life turned around.
Yeah, I need someone to come and save me
All right,
from myself.
so we said this in the second episode that when it comes to movies and stuff like that, usually Lorenzo is our go-to guy. Now, when it comes to video games, that's a different story. That's usually me.
Yeah.
James knows like 2 video games, Call of Duty and UFC. Outside of those 2 video games, he doesn't know shit about
That's totally
video
true.
games. And recently, I got him into playing Borderlands.
The original one.
Yeah, the very first Borderlands, and
I loved it. That one,
yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah,
But
me and him were playing it on my Xbox 360 that I've held on to, and man, he loved the game, but it definitely left something missing. And we just started playing the second one about a week ago, and he is addicted, man. It was like today we had an argument. You know, it was between playing more Borderlands, another 6 hours straight of Borderlands, or doing this podcast. And I literally had to rip the remote out of his hands.
He's in a straitjacket right now.
Yeah.
I've never met my real mother in my life, and she decided to change her life around and come meet me today. And I shooed her away because I was playing Borderlands.
Yeah.
And I'll never see her again, man. But I had to reach 17. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah. No, he's definitely leveling up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you've already skipped a lot of your childhood. I mean, well, you're probably reliving your childhood right there because that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah.
Not now, Mom. I'm playing video games.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I wish I could replace all type of adult interaction I had as a child with Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
I would have been a way better person.
No, it definitely is a cool game, though.
What's so great about it?
Oh, dude,
what
do we have
is it?
time?
What isn't great about it?
Yes,
time
we
for
got
this?
time. This is a podcast.
My phone doesn't have that much memory on it.
Yeah.
It's only got like 8 gigs, alright?
Give me your top 3 favorite things about this.
Okay, skill trees. I love the, how would you put this? You have to actually put
The
some
investment.
thought.
Yeah.
You have to put thought.
There is an emotional investment to leveling up in this game. And I love that just as much. Because it's not like Call of Duty where you go through 55 levels and you level up like super quick.
It's heartless.
And once you get to level 55, you can either stay at the top level or you could prestige. And it's like, okay, now you just start at level 1. Yay. And that's pretty much it. That's all you fucking do. It's just doing that forever. In this game, it's like every time you level, you get a point. And every time you get a point, you can spend that point on a perk. And that perk, will give you certain abilities. And man, and there's just so many different paths you can take as far as leveling up your character and what perks to give them. And it really gives you the power to tailor the character you're playing in this first-person shooter to your play style. And it gives you an emotional investment because you put in the time to get the experience, to get these points, and then spend these points on the skills you want tailored to the way you play. And
I'm getting a fucking boner just thinking about it.
yeah, yeah. Like in the very first game, he loved the melee attack. he was all about doing melee damage. So I gave him the character that's all about melee damage and shotguns, and he spent everything he could making sure that he could punch everything into explosions. And he did. He did great on it. In this game, in the second Borderlands, he's come to the realization that snipers are really fucking awesome. He likes to stay out of the danger, which is hilarious because that's the exact opposite of melee.
Yeah.
He went from going in and punching everybody, punching the guns out of their hands, to being like, I want to be as far away from those people as possible with the least amount of danger.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
And it's weird for me because I've never been like a hardcore gamer. Even when I was a kid, I'd get games and I'd be like, "Oh, this is cool," but I was never crazy about them. I'm not actually that crazy about Borderlands. I mean, I love it. I love playing it.
Yes, you are.
But it's not a problem.
Dude,
I can stop anytime.
Every day
Actually, can we stop when we go play?
Okay, so you said name 3 things. That was number 1.
Well, let's not go into too great detail because a lot of people don't play this game. But
Okay. Well,
it?
all right. We'll name 2 things because I know what the second thing you were gonna name is.
What?
Gambling.
Gamble, yeah, you can gamble in the game.
Thank God that's just a video game.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you
Turns out I have an issue.
He has a gambling addiction in the Borderlands world.
What the fuck happened?
Okay, so in this game, there's like there's a little area where there's 2 slot machines, and you put the money in, and it lets you roll, and it does the thing, and if you land on certain things, it'll give you money or guns or. Man, that's all he fucking does. That's the only reason.
Not all I do.
That's the only reason we played that game is so that he could get more money or more guns, sell the guns to get more money, and then use that money to gamble. So he can buy more guns, so that he could sell those guns, get more money, and then gamble. He has a fucking problem. I don't think he likes Borderlands that much. I think he has a gambling addiction, and it's fueled by Borderlands 2.
Yeah, let's just be thankful gambling's not allowed here in Texas.
Unless you're playing Borderlands 2.
Like,
Yeah.
My other thing I like, I just like there's
the
a lot,
special abilities.
the ability. I think altogether, it's a well thought out game that you really have to invest in different skills depending on what you're really into, and that's just cool. I like just investing into things, knowing I'm gonna get better, and it's just I don't know. It's just something I'm into. I'm just enjoying it.
And you know what the funniest part about it is though, as crazy as he is into this game right now, as much as he likes the gameplay of it, I bet you has no idea what's going on in the storyline.
A little bit.
He barely pays attention to the storyline. Like the storyline will be happening, it'll go to a cutscene, or certain characters will be talking to us, explaining the missions and shit. And he's like, "Shut the fuck up! I just want to go shoot things."
But that should be no surprise to anyone because most people know that I'm not really I'm not into fiction.
Yeah.
The books I'm into, the movies I'm into, I do like things that are fiction, but the vast majority I don't.
I think with you, it's like the only real fiction stuff that you like or stuff that you had ties to as a kid.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, like Spider-Man. You for the most part, you're not into comic book movies. You're not excited about Batman versus Superman. You haven't been excited for any of the Marvel movies up until the one that's about to come out, Captain America:
Civil War. Yeah,
the Civil War. And the only reason you're excited about that one is because with this most recent trailer that came out, it showed Spider-Man for 2 seconds.
Spoiler alert to anyone that hasn't watched it.
Who hasn't watched the trailer? I don't know.
But it's
Where
been out for a while.
been?
Well, hold on. Do we have to yell spoiler alert for a trailer?
Actually, for that one, I think he made it.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of the big surprise.
Yeah, because that was the whole reason why I showed it to James.
Is that where we've come to though in the movie industry?
Hey, man.
Is that you gotta go into trailers for movies saying spoiler alert? I don't want to ruin this trailer for you, but the trailer might ruin the movie for you.
Well, yeah, the thing about that is that I would appreciate, because trailers nowadays just it's so easy to fuck up a whole movie with the trailer. Mm-hmm. And nowadays, for instance, if I didn't want to see, if I wanted to be completely surprised in Civil War, I would prefer somebody tell me okay, you might not want to watch this trailer then, because if I went into Civil War not expecting Spider-Man to show up, I would want to have kept that. But since like that's a pretty big thing that they're going for, because nobody was 100% sure that we were actually going to see Spider-Man. I did hear some reports saying that like the guy who was playing Spider-Man was on set.
Yeah,
but
I casted the actor.
Yeah, but I chalked it up to like, I was like, okay, well that doesn't mean that Spider-Man is in it. That could mean that they're just gonna have Peter Parker
cameo.
Yeah, bump into somebody or something.
Kind of like how when they had what's his name, Hugh Jackman from Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or just like the other Batman versus Superman trailer, the one that came out before this last one, where it showed, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It showed Doomsday coming in.
Yeah.
To me, looking back at it now, I wish they would have kept that a secret.
Well, I'm hoping, I can't say I guarantee, but I'm hoping that these guys are smart enough to have a bigger, trick up their sleeve.
Yeah. Well,
because like if you're gonna reveal certain things like that in the trailer, have a bigger reveal actually happen in the movie. Like, yeah, we're seeing that, Doomsday is gonna be in the movie.
Yeah.
But what if he's not the main villain?
Yeah.
What if he's like halfway through the movie they kill him and you're just like, what's the rest of the movie gonna be about?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, again, another spoiler alert. They might have.
First off,
I'm gonna do it.
Like
okay.
I said, these are trailers. You don't have to give a spoiler alert for a trailer.
This next thing I'm talking about hasn't been revealed in a trailer. It's been kind of like chalked up. Like there's been signs about it. Like I think they do have a bigger reveal besides Doomsday, and I think it's Darkseid.
Yeah.
Because there's been a bunch of photos of like the Omega symbol, and then those flying things in the trailer.
Which is why they also like casted Wonder Woman and Aquaman and Cyborg, and they're casting all these actors, and they're not just gonna briefly show Wonder Woman. They're not just gonna briefly show Aquaman. They're gonna be characters in these movies. They're not. It's not gonna go extensive into their origins or anything. But there's got to be a bigger villain than Doomsday.
Yeah.
I'm
excited to watch it, but the whole reason I showed James the trailer is because I asked him, I was like, have you seen? I knew the answer would be no, but I was like, have you seen the trailer for Captain America: Civil War? He's like, the fuck is that? Yeah. No, and I was like, okay, you got to watch it. I was like, but I wanted to make sure that he didn't know the ending of it because Facebook was already blowing up with all this shit about it. So then I was like, okay, just watch this trailer. And then he thought it was cool. And then the Civil War name of it showed up on the screen. He's like, am I even going to know what I'm looking at? I'm like, yeah, you'll know what you're looking at. Just watch. And then the Spider-Man just comes into frame and James reverted back to his childhood. It was the cutest thing ever. He was like, "Oh boy, it's Spider-Man!"
No, James excited definitely is one of the most adorable things ever.
It definitely is.
I'm gonna edit all of this out.
If you ever get lucky enough to see James like genuinely excited with that bit of glee in his eye, that gleam of hope in his eye.
Hope.
Yes. Like he's just like, oh, that's gonna be so awesome. Yeah. The way he talks about Borderlands, the way he talks about Spider-Man. Like if he were ever to get like if he knew he was gonna have the opportunity to meet Joe Rogan, I bet he would get that same. Okay, he just came. Gross. Do we have a maintenance guy on hand?
Maintain this dick.
No, but
I'm editing all this up.
It truly is adorable.
Yeah. There's nothing adorable.
He's the cutest little guy.
Yeah. Oh, fuck you.
Well, continuing on with this, I know you got interested in the trailer before they showed Spider-Man because you found out kind of what the storyline is about unchecked power and everything like that they have with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really relieved when I found out that was going to be it because with the first trailer, it really led it on for me to believe that the whole thing was all about Bucky, his friend. Like, I was like, they're going to be after him. Captain America's going to protect him from them. I was like, that's a complete waste of the storyline.
Yeah.
And now...
It actually seems like they're definitely sticking true to the comic books.
Yeah. I mean, like that's exactly what the storyline was about. You know, and they're basically in trouble for all the shit that they did in the other movies, all the destruction and stuff. And I'm excited about it. You know, and I like it when you make a good movie that just has superheroes in it. You know, like if that alone, you know, even if it wasn't Iron Man or Captain America or anything like that, if it was just regular people and characters, you know, that whole thing about unchecked power, you know, who watches the Watchmen kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's an interesting storyline in itself, and it's always cool to see two people who think that they're in the right battle it out for what they believe
Just
in.
Tony Stark yelling at Captain America, "We gotta register you guys as superheroes."
Yeah.
And Captain America yelling back at Tony Stark, "You gotta stop going to Trump campaigns."
It's funny how that. Yeah, because the trailer of me was the constant battle of the left and the right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that actually. I don't know if it has any type of ties to a political background or any type of agenda they have going on.
It definitely has to do with big government versus small government.
Okay.
Kind of with the whole like government wanting to pass the Registration Act. You know,
How cool would it be if that was Stan Lee's cameo in this movie, though? If it was like it looked
he was
like
Donald Trump.
Yeah, like no. One, I got one better. If it was like a campaign kind of thing, and you see Donald Trump yelling on a TV screen in the background as Tony Stark's walking down the street or some bullshit, and then you see Stan Lee as Bernie Sanders yelling back at him.
I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Those guys are old as fuck.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since Trump was brought up, I heard an interesting not a comparison or something, but I don't know what you'd call this, but I was listening to something. I don't know if it was a podcast or an interview. I forgot where the fuck I heard it from, but they made a really interesting.
If I hear another
point.
comparison about Donald Trump and Hitler,
No, that's fucking stupid. That shit's annoying.
Yeah.
It's really dumb, and it's completely just has no place. But someone referred to voting or being a Trump supporter is someone who flips over a game board.
What?
But this is what it sounded like to me. It was because I'm so fucking annoyed with the politicians and stuff. Everyone's tired of the left and the right because they're constantly failing all of us. Like no one is really doing anything too good for us.
Yeah.
No one's really making that much of a change. So the thing that people see in Trump, and I'm not saying I support him because I definitely don't. Well, I don't know if I do. I really don't know what I support. But sorry, we're having a little 32 minutes. Okay. You gotta go? Okay, sorry. Yeah. So what it sounds like to me is like you're playing a game of Monopoly or something, and let's say somebody keeps cheating. Like let's say Lorenzo and I are playing a fucking game of Monopoly, and he keeps fucking cheating, and I just can't fucking.
Whoa.
I can't get over it.
Whoa. First
So-
off, whoa.
no.
Hear me out.
Huh.
How would one cheat in Monopoly?
Fucking like stealing money from the bank.
Yeah, like was he playing the bank and then he just keeps sliding money to himself on
Hey,
the table and
actually,
buying
that's
up all the park places and shit?
That's a pretty accurate assessment of what's actually happening.
Nice.
But like, let's say he keeps cheating, and I get fucking fed up with it to the point of I'm so mad. I don't even care if I win. I just don't want you to win. So I flip the fucking board over because if Trump wins, I don't think people really think that we're gonna win. I just think they're like, I don't want them to fucking win.
Yeah.
And I think that's I don't want to go too much into Trump because it's very. I don't want people to get like annoyed.
Okay, so you're saying that Trump would be the player cheating and everybody else would be the guys flipping over shit?
No. I'm saying that both the left and the right, all the other career politicians is the cheating person on Monopoly, and voting for Trump, supporting Trump, is that person flipping over the fucking game board and saying fuck this whole thing. I don't even care anymore.
Nice.
And in that board game that's all over the place, that's in pieces. That's our country.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
That's a terrifying analogy.
But that's really how I saw it, and I was like, man, that really made sense to me.
Yeah.
Not that I'm supporting it. I'm just saying I can see why people are, because I'm just as frustrated.
Yeah, it's the whole system is kind of petty at this point because like when you're on such an extreme side of either left or right, it gets to that point where you're just like, I don't completely agree with this guy, but I'm gonna vote for him anyways because I don't want them to win.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so childish. You know, and it's annoying at the same time because, like you said, like you don't completely agree with either one. Nobody's really making a difference either way. So, you know, why deal with it at all then?
Yeah, this country's in a weird place. I think we can all agree that it's in shambles and it's not working. And I don't think it's necessarily Obama's fault. And I don't think it was Bush's fault.
It's just a change. It just needs a change in a lot of the system that we use, in my opinion. You know, it's just
it's a matter of, you know, all these guys who have made this their careers and who do this for a living, who are, you know, who were in politics from day one.
Can you speak up a little bit? Sorry.
All these guys, you know, they've learned to play the game, and it's a game that, you know, regular people don't know how to play. You know, it's easy for them to, you know, campaign on someone's behalf and, you know, bring up just about anybody they want. Mm-hmm. You know, Donald Trump shouldn't have been able to, you know, just become a nominee like that. I mean, he's not a nominee yet.
He's getting close.
He's getting dangerously close.
I've heard so many people say it's not funny anymore. This is like they're expecting this to be a joke, and they're like, okay, guys, let's stop fucking around. This isn't funny anymore. Well, but it's a joke that really has turned into its own thing.
Well, I mean, that's just it. I mean, it shouldn't have been a joke in the first place. Mm-hmm. You know, it was never funny. Because, but that's
it was at first.
No. See, because
laughing at first.
No, I wasn't.
It's still no. I disagree. I think it's still very funny.
Yeah, it's because you support Trump.
I don't support Trump.
You definitely support Trump.
Not even a little bit.
Why are you wearing his wig right now?
A Trump tattoo.
I customized. It's
wait.
I guarantee you. I guarantee. Did y'all see him talking about his dick?
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
Oh, you haven't seen this?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, so who was it? Rubio?
Yeah, it was
Rubio. Yeah. He made a comment about Trump's hands
being small.
Yeah, being small. Mm-hmm. He was, and Trump was like, "Can you believe this?" He's like, "Look at my hands. These things ain't small, and nothing else is small on me. I guarantee you that."
Jeez.
Yeah. And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
And that's the guy people want to be president of the.
This guy's running.
Can you imagine in the UN or something, or not even the UN, but like addressing a member of another country, going like, "Listen, Vladimir."
And that's what scares me. I'm not saying he couldn't do wonders for our economy. But if Trump became president, all our foreign policy and all our foreign relations with every other country on earth is just out of the fucking window, man. Yeah. He won't give a fuck about any of that. He won't care what China and Mexico and Canada and
just say we'll build a wall.
Yeah.
We'll put a wall between all of y'all.
Yeah.
You're all paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, man. But you know, it's also just as crazy that it's hard to believe this is going on. But one of the front runners for being a nominee for the Democrat is Hillary a Democrat?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. I didn't know she. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's under investigation by the FBI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the fucking
for the private emails.
Yeah.
Servers set up in her bathroom.
Benghazi. That shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's like, Jesus, fuck, man. What kind of if this is the best our country can do, I'm not impressed.
At a recent Democratic, I think it was the most recent Democratic debate. Hosted by, was it Univision or Telemundo? One of the two Spanish channels, the big ones. Yeah. There was a guy there who actually asked Hillary. He said, you know, if you are to be indicted on these charges that the FBI are currently investigating, would you drop out of the race? And she completely ducked the fucking question. She said something like, "I'm not going to answer that. That's totally unjustified." Or something along those lines. I don't know what her exact words.
Saying it was irrelevant or something.
Yeah, saying I'm not going to answer that. That's an irrelevant question. It was like
it's pretty fucking relevant.
70% of FBI investigations lead to persecution. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a fucking huge chance that you will be indicted or arrested.
I don't think she will, though.
It's very possible that she won't be. It can go either way.
I'm pretty sure she won't, though. I mean,
Yeah.
They just have too much money. She's too high up there.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe.
Well, the fact of the matter is they have over 100 people over 100 FBI employees are investigating her case right now, and they have been for the past month or two, I believe. You know, for quite a while now. Now, in my opinion, if they wanted to get her, they would have gotten her by now. Either that, or they're collecting everything and they're going to hit her with all of it at once.
Yeah, hell, we wait for she's actually sworn in.
Yeah, right.
How fucked up would that be?
The moment she's sworn in, they just bust in the windows and shit like you're under arrest.
She'd run this country from behind bars.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then it'd be all about who she has as a, what do they call that, vice president?
Yeah.
Who is she? Does she have a running mate?
They haven't announced any of that yet.
Okay.
Not until their actual nominees.
You know, the past two elections, I've only been 18 for two elections. For the first time Obama won,
Yeah,
and then
the Obama.
yeah, both the Obama ones.
Yeah, you're still 18.
Huh?
You've been 18 since that? Since
Yeah,
then?
yeah. Like I turned 18 like a month before that.
Yeah, so
And he's been 18 ever since.
Yeah, I'm Peter Pan actually. And
He's Peter Pan, but he can buy cigarettes.
with a kid. And yeah, I paid attention to both elections pretty strongly. This one, man, I'm hearing so much bad things. I did some research at first, and then I just lost all interest, dude, because I just don't care about any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of like Rand Paul, but he's not gonna get anywhere.
No, I mean he's
too quiet. Yeah.
He's already.
Oh, did he already officially like drop out of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's how much I don't pay.
Well,
attention.
see, on the Democrat side, the two that are left are Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, the two big ones. And
Yeah.
right now, Hillary is winning, but Bernie Sanders has a crazy amount of support from the little guys, man.
If you had to go, I don't know if you're open about your political.
If
stances.
I had to vote Democrat,
Yeah.
is that what you're
which
about
one?
to ask?
Yeah. Which one would you go for?
Fuck, man.
I think it's an easy Sanders. If you had to.
I don't know.
I think it's easy Sanders.
I don't know. I just don't support Democrats majority of the time. I'm just kind of biased like that.
So here's the thing about Bernie Sanders, though. Man, seeing all these pictures of him marching with Martin Luther King and him protesting for the civil rights movement, man, like, I don't. His economics is questionable, not just by my part, but by a lot of economists. But as a human being, I think he's
Well, no, definitely, hands down, he is a much better human being. It's like
he's
like,
a good
okay,
dude. He's a good dude.
like as far as who they are as a person, his history, his past speaks volumes in comparison.
And he's always been consistent.
To Hillary. Yeah, because he's
Always
always
been
been consistent.
Yeah.
From the time when he was young, you know, he was always supporting, you know, all these, you know, movements and everything. You know, he's picked a side and sticked with that side this whole time.
And it was a good sign.
Yeah, and you know, he was doing it for, you know, what he truly believes is the better. He's not doing it for his own benefit. He's doing it because he actually cares, and I can respect that. But at the same token, you know, a lot of what, you know, he says as far as policies, the free school and the free
15 an hour,
you know, all of that, it's like, you know, it sounds great. It really does. I wish in a perfect world that, you know, that was one of those things where we could just sign a paper and say, okay, everybody gets $15 an hour now, starting off. But it's more complicated than that. And if he has it figured out, by all means. But
yeah, that's the problem.
but yeah,
Even if he's a good dude, that kind of trades off with intelligence.
Yeah.
Because Hillary may be smarter than him, but she's definitely not a good person.
Yeah,
I don't want to say, you know, I don't even want to say that because I really don't. I don't know enough about her. I don't know enough about her policies, but just saying Bernie Sanders alone on his own events, he's a fucking good guy, and she's being investigated.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
yeah, if you're comparing
On that
like
load.
who's probably the better person among the two, the guy who's spent the past 50 years in and out of movements, or the woman who's currently being investigated by over 150 employees through the FBI.
Do you know what her and her husband's net worth is? It's like several millions.
I know that they're that they do what is it called, motivational speaking a lot.
Yeah,
and they charge thousands of dollars. I mean, almost millions, like hundreds of thousands.
Do you have your phone? Oh, damn it. All right, God, sorry.
Yeah, you wanted to fact check me?
No, because I know it's true that they're
No.
banking on that.
Yeah, they're
And that's fine.
banking on
I
that.
don't have any problem with that. But
Yeah, I mean it's their word. It's. I mean everybody has something they sell, whether it be a product or whether it be your words or whether it be your image, and you sell it based on what you think it's worth. But I mean they happen to be selling their words, and if they think it's worth that, and there's people willing to pay, by all means, and that's what's great about this country is that you can. You can sell a product like that for however much you want, and as long as there's people there to pay it, you can't really be judged.
yeah, I don't have any problem with that alone. But what else are they getting that money from though? Because do you think that's all? Well, Lorenzo's gonna fact check how much Bill and Hillary Clinton's net worth is real quick. But how much is that? Is that all speeches? Well, we don't know. That's the thing is like we don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to speak on anything that I'm uneducated in, but do you know? Does she have any other? Did they have any other type of income? Is there an income that's questionable? That's maybe kind of fucked up.
I don't know. What else they do. I mean, obviously he used to be a president, so
But see, that doesn't even pay that much.
There's certain privileges that comes with that, and they're both very heavily into politics. That puts them in the line of being put in front of certain organizations and being put in front of certain campaigns, and that stuff pays because they're not technically volunteers. They're paid for that kind of stuff. If they go and they do a benefit in a community or they do a benefit for a specific state, they're not volunteers there. They're being paid to be at that benefit.
Then you also have to think, like I said, I don't really know. I'm uneducated in the subject, but you have to think that their pockets have to be lined with company money. Did you find it?
Yeah. Okay. So, first couple of articles breaks it down, saying that Bill Clinton in 2011, Bill Clinton gave 54 speeches in a year, right? And he made over $13 million from that, averaging out to
That's
about
believable.
$250,000. But it's saying that she's being targeted for $675,000 she took from Goldman Sachs.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, saying that her fees exceeded $300,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
that's
paid.
been one of those big things too. That a lot of the Republican side has been bringing up that just really hasn't come to light.
Do you see? So, what's their? Do you see their combined net worth? Because man, that's like it's a lot of money for not really having a skill. I mean, not that they don't have any skills, but
Well, like I said, they're motivational speakers.
Yeah.
That's what they sell.
is it motivational speeches or is it
And-
just
and I'm-
general speeches,
like
appearances?
well, yeah, a
Because
little bit of both.
I know.
Show up at some college, tell all the kids they
all
can be
colleges
anything,
like that.
and leave with $250,000 in your pocket for 30 minutes of talking to a bunch of strange kids.
Strange kids.
So, Bill Clinton's net worth is $80 million.
And those aren't like 100% accurate, but they're
Yeah, it breaks it down into
Yeah.
but that's
Certain
they're
things.
they're not going to be that far off.
I mean, my net worth certainly isn't $80 million.
I don't think anyone's.
If you go to one of their motivational speeches, one day you will be
Yeah. You mean I could be anything?
anything
Whoa.
that's you could be worth $80 million.
Yeah. That's like who's that guy, Daniel Tosh? You ever heard his comedy bit on the commencement speech, the high school commencement speech? Definitely something to look up for those of our listeners with internet access. And the URL YouTube, you can probably look it up there.
And it says Hillary Clinton's net worth is $31.3 million.
Damn.
She's not hurting for money.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, it was funny because shortly after Bill was out of the White House, there's actually video and audio recordings of her saying that, they went into debt, from living in the White House. I don't remember the specifics on it, but she basically said that once they were out of the White House, you know, they had no money and they didn't know what to do.
Oh, that's right. I remember reading
Yeah.
about that. Okay, I got you now. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't want to go into too much detail about that. I don't know too much about it, but
We do our best to refrain from speaking of things we're not fully aware of.
so we don't really talk a lot.
Okay.
Why the fuck do we have a podcast? We don't know shit.
Hey, we have opinions, man. We're relatively young. We're
Yeah.
relatively.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that whole thing's a freak show. But I do hope that Bernie does get it over Hillary.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, he might drive this fucking country into more debt,
Like,
but
like I said, I
Who
don't,
knows?
I don't vote Democrat for a reason. It's just not what I support for my own reasons. But, I mean, between the two, I have a whole lot more respect for Bernie Sanders than I do Hillary Clinton.
for sure.
You know, he just seems like he has more invested interest in the general well-being of our country rather than seeing this as an investment towards himself.
Yeah, I think
You know,
he has
and-
good intentions.
And,
Absolutely.
and that definitely goes a long way.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, that being said, I still would rather prefer vote Republican. But even among the Republicans, there aren't, you know, our list of candidates are, you know, we don't have, it's not a broad spectrum like it is on the liberal side. Because for the Democrats, they have Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, and those are two completely different people. You know, those are two completely different sides of what it is to be Democrat.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Where-
he's like a socialist Democrat.
Yeah.
So,
Whereas, you know, on the Republican side, it's like you have the most extreme Republican you could possibly have, you know, almost cartoonish. You know,
wait, which one?
Donald Trump.
Oh.
Donald Trump, you know, he is so Republican.
No. He has a lot of Democrat views, though.
He does, but
Cruz is more Republican than him.
no, he's more conservative. He's
Okay.
definitely more conservative. But as far as Republican goes, you know, all those stereotypical extremist Republican, you know, points, that's what Donald Trump is playing on. And, you know, other than Donald Trump, we have Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and what is it, John Kasich, or is his name John Kasich, I think?
Oh, I have no idea. I've never heard the guy before.
Kasich is the only one. I think his first name is John. I don't remember his first name.
If he's not Trump, I haven't heard of him.
His last name is definitely Kasich, and
He's not catching headlines anywhere.
he's not. I mean, he's barely in the running. Everybody else has dropped out because, you know, they know that,
The money pit, too.
yeah, between Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and Donald Trump, you know, that's where all the votes are going. And I'm sure it's only a matter of time before Kasich drops out.
Hey, can I pull up that thing I posted on Facebook? You want me to do it?
No, I got
Okay.
it.
Did y'all hear about the another one of Trump's rallies?
Oh, they closed it down in Chicago?
Yeah, because of crazy shit that was
Yeah,
happening.
but here's my opinion on that though. If Chicago wants nothing to do with it so badly that they prevent it from happening,
Mm-hmm.
I think that adds people as supporters for Trump. Look at fucking Chicago. What a fucked up place to live, right? I mean, I don't know. It seems like a fucked up place. Do you see it anywhere? No. I posted it on your wall on Facebook.
On my wall.
Yeah.
Quick, everybody, go to my wall.
Everybody go to the next wall.
The twatters are tweeting me.
I wanted to get y'all's initial reaction. I didn't want to show y'all beforehand. Is that it? Fuck.
No, that's
Damn it! I shared it on your wall. I don't want to pull up my phone.
Is it something that you have on your wall?
It's on my phone. I'll just pull it up from my phone, but I'll be careful because this is how we're
Here,
recording.
let me do it. Let me give it.
Well, because it's on my Facebook.
Well, I'll just look at your profile.
No.
ours
It's like on my
page.
timeline.
Yeah.
I thought I shared it over to Nick, but
Ah.
yeah.
Is it this thing?
No. That's cool though. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But let me. Sorry for the.
Oh,
clicking.
actually,
Here it goes right here.
Okay.
I'll just read this out. I'll pass it around to everybody real quick. So the initial picture has a picture of the KKK in it,
Nice.
and it has shut up. And in quotations, it says on the picture itself, it says, "You have to respect everyone's beliefs." End quote. And at the bottom it says, "No, I fucking don't." And that part, I think that's cool. I totally agree with that part, but I'm gonna pass this around to everybody else and get y'all's reaction.
Are you saying you agree with the KKK?
No, I'm agreeing that they can KK and go fuck itself.
Yeah.
But the rest of the part is the part that really fucking bothers me. There's a caption above that. Whenever you guys are done reading that, I'll read it out to the viewers, or one of us can read it out. It doesn't matter. Y'all both read that?
No.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, I'll read it out loud. Okay. But the caption above that the person was posting it in a page called Anti-Theists, Proactive Atheists. The caption reads, quote, "A Christian claiming not to be racist, sexist, gay, or trans-hating is a bit like a KKK member claiming not to be racist. Perhaps they're not, but they're certainly supporting an organization that is." And that, like, that's fucking ridiculous. To sit there and say that if you're a Christian, you support all these things automatically.
Yeah.
Like, dude, everyone that's ever shot up a fucking school. I don't know if you want to reread it on your own.
No,
Okay, I just wanted to get everyone's reaction on this. Everyone that's ever shot up a school or a public place has probably been an atheist.
Yeah. You know, it's always those guys who are like, oh, I hate God and I hate all these other things.
Well, the problem I have with that is that someone whoever wrote that is you still have those same kind of people who are saying the opposite about like other religions, like Muslims, for instance.
Yeah.
Like, I could sit there and say, let's turn the tables around. If I sit there and say, like, a Muslim claiming that they don't believe in suicide bombings and killing all the
Beheading people.
yeah, beheading people and all the crazy shit that all the extremists are doing nowadays is like that.
Yeah.
But me basically saying that all Muslims believe in that is fucking ridiculous.
And if you were to tell that to someone that believes in that,
yeah,
they'd be like, "Oh, you're fucking racist."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're profiling everybody, all these people because of their religion. I'm like, that's what you just fucking did.
Yeah, that's exactly what they fucking did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fucking boggles my head that they're like pushing for change and they're acting like the defender of all things minority.
Yeah.
But as soon as that switched around with the same consistency as they're putting out, you're fucking racist. You're a bigot. Well, but I hate that.
Yeah, and that's the irony in that, because now people are being accused of being racist. It's like, you're called a fucking racist, and it was like, why would you think I'm racist? Because you're white. It almost seems like that's the logic there. Or claiming you're a fucking bigot. Why would you think I'm a bigot? Because you're a Christian. And there's irony in that. Like there's actually a video there's a Hispanic a lady from a Hispanic television company. I don't know if it's Telemundo. Yeah, it went pretty viral for a while.
This is an old video.
Yeah, and she approached two guys, a black guy and a white guy. She initially approached the white guy and immediately starts going, "Sir, why are you a racist? Why are you a racist?" And he's starts going, "Why? I don't know. I'm not a racist. What are you talking about, lady?" And she goes, "Why don't you want Mexicans in your country?" And the black guy overhears it. He goes, "Why would you call him a racist? I'm his best friend. I'm black. Why would you call this man a racist? Just because he's white? That's fucking racist right there."
Yeah, it shut her up quick.
Yeah, and it shut her up. But that's the mentality of all these arguments now, to call Christianity, to call all of Christians bigots because of what they did in the Crusades. Yeah, there's bad apples. Yeah, there's bad history. But it doesn't make the whole thing bad. Just like, there's a lot of Mexicans who go around beheading women and, raping kids and selling drugs. And, there are going to be people who say it's the whole Mexican race who's bad. But no, it's not the whole Mexican race. Yeah. Donald Trump will go, argue that all day. And yeah, he's a fucked up idiot. But it doesn't make everything, it doesn't make every Mexican bad. I mean, I'm Mexican and I'm not like that.
Yeah, he hasn't raped anyone in days.
Yeah. You know how long it's been since I've raped anybody?
At least a couple days.
God, I mean, I have blue balls, but I mean, I stray away from that. I mean, my point is, there's bad apples in every bunch. You can pick any religion, any race, anybody who has opinions about anything, and say anybody like you does this. Does this stereotypical negative thing. But I mean, it's bullshit to call an entire race of people or an entire religion of people, based on those few that, even if it's a bigger portion than a few.
Well, and the funny thing is they compared that to being in the KKK and someone claiming not to be racist. The entire KKK's reason to exist is hatred. It's being a racist.
exactly.
That's the entire. There's no underlining thing about it. You're a racist. If you're in the KKK, you're racist.
Yeah, you are. It's just like any other extremist group. I mean, like they're pretty much considered like a terrorist organization based on that because they use terror tactics to attack people, and it's getting to the point where a lot of people who are trying to defend the minorities and stuff like that, they're getting that way. You know, like it's so
the tables have turned.
Yeah, they're so quick to lash out at you and be borderline violent with you.
Yeah.
You know, they start attacking like everything. Like if you don't agree with us, then you're a fucking piece of shit. You know who deserves to die.
Well, see, it's
that.
funny. It's people going, "You're a bigot because you have a different opinion."
Yeah.
And that's stupid to me. That's redundant.
And it drives me fucking crazy when I hear all these stories about like, you get these college campuses and shit like that, and they're trying. I get that they're trying to get with the program and everything like that, but it's getting to the point where it is like that. If you share a different opinion than these people who are, willing to have like a big protest or something like that, here are some rules that we have that make sure that you don't cause up a stir with these people.
It's sad because then you start seeing things like this Donald Trump thing that happened the other day with his campaign, where they were going to have that the whole thing go on and it got canceled.
Chicago,
in Chicago, one of his campaign rallies got canceled
completely
in Chicago.
shut down now.
Yeah.
And it's sad to me because they see that as a victory.
Yeah.
And it's stupid. Okay, yeah, you protested at somebody else's thing because you had a different opinion from him. But it got pushed to so far. It got pushed so far that you use your First Amendment right of freedom of speech to shut down someone else's right of freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. What victories have you gained? What have you accomplished? You're turning yourself into your own enemy. You're proving that, you can be just as terrible as any Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump, wants all Mexicans out. But you've just prevented an entire fucking stadium of people to not have their opinion, to not have it heard, to not support who they feel like supporting. That to me is not a victory. That to me is a setback in our country and our society. And it's sad to me.
Yeah, and I think to anything, man, I think that just, to show that Chicago really wanted nothing to do with that, I think that fucking gave points to Donald Trump, because Chicago is such a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
What a shitty place to live in. On top of that, it's on both sides though. I hate both sides doing it. I hate seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, it is on both sides. Everybody's doing it.
I hate that. And then that's like, I was joking on Facebook and saying that, man, that's why I'm agnostic. Because I hate seeing fucking religious people go after non-religious people, and I hate seeing non-religious people going after religious people.
It's a shitty situation because, and that big spiel that I just gave, as sad as, it is sad to see that Donald Trump, campaign rally got canceled because of how many protesters were there, and that, they were wanting to prevent any kind of violence from breaking out.
No.
But you know what? His shit does deserve to get protested on.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm totally cool with the protesting.
I mean, I'm fine with them protesting and all that shit. I'm not trying to say you're not allowed to protest, because...
But the violence was the problem.
Yeah.
People were going to get hurt.
Yeah.
If he showed up... Well, actually, people did get hurt. There's videos of cops getting, busted up, fucked up, people being taken away.
Yeah.
Maybe ambulances. People got hurt, and he never even showed up.
Yeah.
And fuck you, Chicago. That's such a bad place to live, man.
Yeah.
And for that to happen, just to make sure more people weren't hurt, maybe possibly killed, I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. I don't support the guy, and it doesn't matter who it is. The Black Panther Party or KKK or the Brown Brigade, that's like the Mexican version of KKK.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, nobody cares about them. They could show up down the fucking street today, and I don't support any of them. I don't give a fuck. I don't want their shit shut down. Let them fucking talk. They sound like idiots, all of them. Mm-hmm. The KKK more so than all of them, because they actually have a history of fucking people up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just because I don't like something doesn't mean I don't want it to go. I don't fucking like John Jones of the UFC. I don't like
Yeah.
Floyd
That
Mayweather.
scumbag.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But I don't. But I also totally support their right to free speech or to
Yeah.
gather, whatever, man. As long as you're not fucking.
Well, yeah, like we were
hating
talking
dude.
about a while ago. You know, it's like I don't support Hillary Clinton,
Yeah, but if she wanted to come
but
here, I
but
would have
she
fucking broke
but
up.
she's worth what would you say 30-something billion,
It's a million, something-
30-something $1 million, and she's earned every penny of it. You know,
Allegedly.
allegedly earned every penny of it. It's not my
I don't
place
know.
to say. You know, I don't support her. I don't support the things she says. But the fact that she's gotten paid for saying that, you know, all I can do is say I don't like it. For me to take any other action, you know, to prevent her from earning her dime is, you know, it's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, what gives me the right to say you don't deserve the same rights I have?
Yeah, it was shitty, man. That picture fucking infuriated me, and the whole mess. Not the picture. The picture was fine. The message behind it about
Yeah.
all Christians supporting racism and homophobia.
And that was from the person who shared that picture.
that was from a group called Anti-Atheists or whatever, or Anti-Theists.
Yeah, but whoever posted that picture.
Yeah, they posted that with the
Yeah,
message.
yeah.
And man, I hate doing. And the thing is, because you know a lot of my friends are from the punk rock and metal community, so I have far more far left friends than I do conservative. I have a couple like really like Christian Republican or conservative friends, like
Yeah.
you and a couple other guys. And for the
I wouldn't
most,
call myself Christian Republican.
oh yeah, well yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You're religious.
in a sense.
In a sense, but so I see a lot more of my atheist hardcore liberal friends.
Yeah.
They're more outspoken anyway because they don't have their moms and dads and shit on Facebook. So maybe that's why. I'm just saying that they're way more outspoken about the whole thing, and a lot of it's hatred spewing. I'm sure there's but I've been on KHOU, our local news station,
Yeah.
and there's hatred spewing out of all those comments. As soon as a black person does anything, their comments are like, "Oh, he's black. No wonder."
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
"Oh, I wonder what race it is." Like, people will post silly shit when they think that. I've seen some of my friends on Facebook. They don't know they're older, so they're not very tech savvy.
Yeah.
So they'll comment on something and they have no fucking clue
that
that we can see it.
everybody can see it.
When you fucking like a picture, or if you left a comment on some chick's picture, it's on my wall. I don't have to go to your Facebook. It'll just post up on my wall as you're scrolling down.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some of my friends'
Saying
parents.
so and so said this about this.
Oh yeah, exactly. Or some of my friends' parents who are like married and have kids and grandkids. I have a lot of my friends' parents on Facebook. I'm just cool with a lot of them. And I've seen like dads and moms like with a picture that said like and comment 100% if you want to see this girl topless or whatever. Like on one of
Yeah.
those like
Really?
yeah, and I've seen some of
Yeah.
my friends' dads and shit. like
Yeah.
people I would never expect it. It's really funny. It gives you have such a false sense of security on Facebook.
Yeah.
it's really funny.
It's just one of those people where, you know, it's just one of those things where people aren't aware of, you
Yeah.
know, how much is visible to other people.
Yeah, so like I said, man, if you ever want to see racism at its worst, go to KHOU and local news station, and
Yeah.
you'll see nothing but fucking hatred and, from all sides, but mostly white, just because there's more white people here than anything. But yeah, I just want to touch up on a few things real quick. So what have you been doing this weekend, Lorenzo? My good friend, pal, buddy,
Well, speaking on the social issues, I actually went to
comrade,
Homie G,
yeah,
Home Slice,
doggy,
a couple 1-2 honeydews.
My nigga.
yeah. My ninja.
My ninja. Yeah, I actually went to go see Zootopia last night.
Oh, how was it? I heard it was really good.
Fucking end your life. Talking to James.
I just grabbed Lorenzo's water to see if there's any reaction.
It was interesting. It was definitely cute. It was a cute movie. Like, definitely the kids would enjoy it. And then what the fuck are you doing?
Sorry, go ahead.
It's definitely something that kids would enjoy. But the thing that actually really surprised me about it is it has a lot to say about social issues and stuff like that, like prejudice. and-
Is it another, what was that?
Animal Farm?
Dr. Seuss movie?
Oh.
What was that Dr. Seuss movie? The one that starts with a Z. The one about
Z?
global warming.
Oh, the Lorax.
The Lorax,
That's what
that
I'm-
one,
that's what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
definitely.
Oh, was that a
Oh.
social commentary?
No, I think that was more like
That movie was straight up global warming.
Yeah, it had a lot to do about people's impact on the environment.
Yeah.
Oh, I never
Yeah.
saw it.
That whole movie was just
I-
global warming agenda.
I can definitely relate it to that.
Was it like that?
Yeah, I mean, where it had like a message, but like to a little kid, it's not like a blatant thing that a little kid would completely catch on
It's
to.
not that like they're gonna subliminally tell these kids that this is a problem, but it's just
There's
like
definitely subliminals, but I don't hate it for that because they are definitely the right kind
They're
of
good
subliminals.
subliminals, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like I said, like
what were they talking about?
well, they at the beginning,
Spoiler
yeah, spoiler alerts throughout this thing.
for all the 8-year-olds watching this.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
Listen.
to our listeners, you gotta remember, me nor James have seen this movie, so we're in the same boat, man. He's about to spoil it for us too. So
Well, I won't spoil the ending.
Spoil it.
Spoil it.
I'll just no. I'm not
Spoil
gonna
the
spoil.
shit out of
No,
that.
it's not even gonna make a difference.
Who directed
really.
it?
I don't know who directed it.
Spoiler.
So anyways, it's a movie about she's a bunny and she's from like this hick town
Nice.
in this movie. Her parents are carrot farmers, right? So she wants to grow.
Whoa.
She's a rabbit.
A bunny family.
They're
farming
carrot.
carrots.
Yeah, they're
Does
carrot.
that make
farmers.
sense? What's wrong with that?
That's blowing my mind right there. That's that concept alone.
Yeah.
Bunny love carrots. Continue.
No, and you're gonna love this. They keep making references. You know the phrase like they're fucking like rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has like 35 brothers and sisters. Yeah,
Awesome.
and like there's just constant jokes about that.
Nice.
Like it is funny. So, anyways, so she's a bunny, and there's like a long time ago before they lived in Zootopia. That's the name of the city that they live in. Before that began, predators and prey. It was just like nature, predators hunted the prey. They couldn't live, and now they live in harmony, right? So she wants to grow up to be a cop, and everyone's like, "Oh, you can't be a cop. You're just a little bunny. What are you gonna do when you come up against a lion or something like that?" And they're not gonna listen to you.
And then she fucked her way up to the top, right?
What kind of bunny movie was that?
Because she fucks like a bunny, right?
No. So
Wrong movie.
yeah, wrong movie.
Spoiler alert.
So anyways, they're like, yeah, you can't do that. Your dreams are silly. And there's just like her parents are just constantly telling her like it's okay to have dreams, just don't follow them.
What, they live in Canada?
yeah. They,
That's how they are.
oh really?
Yeah, they're not into that whole follow your dream shit.
Really?
They actually tell people to be realistic.
It's
Yeah,
like, dude, just contribute to society and we'll be happy.
absolutely. I've watched a bunch of interviews.
So they're a bunch of Spocks from Star Trek.
It's like, look, man, this world needs somebody at Best Buy selling us used laptops.
Somebody's gonna be the farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't fuck
Somebody-
up the machine here.
It's like some of you will build your own businesses. Some of you will be the janitors at that businesses, but you'll all be contributing to society.
Fuck that. I'm not going to Canada. Anyways,
Sounds great to me.
so I guess GSP was just meant to be that they made him into.
He's special.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, she's like, oh, I guess I'll just have to be the first bunny. Real positive attitude, right? And then I've started realizing that they were trying to like kind of send this message through the movie about like prejudices and stuff like that, like because she wants to be a cop, and then she's graduated from the police academy and everything like that, and they tell her like, hey, be careful going into these places, you got predators everywhere, especially foxes. You know how they get. That's exactly what they're saying. You know how they are. It's in their DNA. That's just what they're brought up doing, and that's what they're always gonna do. Like they're painting foxes as these animals that can't be trusted, and that they just mean bad. And I'm like, wow, they're really pushing that message. And like before she goes to the city, her dad gives her like a bunch of fox repellent shit. Yeah, like he gives her like a mace that says fox mace or something like that. He's like, it'll make me feel so much better if I know that you can defend yourself from them.
Wow.
Yeah. So she goes to the city and everything, and right away, like the first fox she sees, she feels that prejudice. puts her hand on the mace and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And but of course they end up being friends, and then he ends up telling a story that, you know, he had to live with that prejudice.
Yeah.
You know, like he wanted to join like the boys, like the Cub Scouts or something like that as a kid.
And then she fucked him.
No,
Fucking Fox.
spoiler alert.
Fucking Fox lover, man.
No. So then they yeah, it was a pretty interesting movie, you know, and it really impressed me that they were actually sending messages like that. But like
That's good.
I wasn't mad at it because like sometimes it gets to the point where like the movie is trying way too hard to send a message to through a movie that children don't understand, nor should they be concerned about.
But maybe if you ingrain those messages early on, man, it'll make a difference.
Only if you do it in the right way.
That's gotta be the right way. Though.
Yeah, that I had no complaints about Zootopia.
Yeah.
About that,
Yeah.
the message it was trying to send, because it's something that a little kid can watch and absorb it the right way.
Right.
You know, it's, you know, sitting there telling you like, don't judge, you know, somebody.
Don't judge foxes.
Yeah,
There's a lot of persecution of foxes in this country.
oh yeah.
I, for one, I won't deal with
What
it.
do they say?
Who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
Yeah. Who really
I'd
knows?
like to know.
Yeah. Maybe if all of us would be a little more quiet and actually listen to what the fox has to say for a change, we would know.
I don't know, man. I don't like the idea of that movie.
I figured you
I mean,
wouldn't.
I mean,
He's
someday
Republican.
I want to have kids, and I want to raise those kids to be super fucking judgmental. I don't want you judging me.
That's
on
true.
that.
Sometimes you can't trust a fox.
Yeah.
I was once held at
Look.
gunpoint by a fox
Look.
on Brazoid.
Look, I'm Hispanic, and you know,
Don't say anything you're gonna.
there's a
Yeah.
there's a lot of
We don't want to scrap another podcast. here.
there's a lot of things in our culture that, you know, we base our entire, you know, lives around. One of those things is Dora the Explorer. If I've learned anything based from Dora the Explorer, it's don't trust a fox. All right,
I don't want to. I've never seen Dora the Explorer.
swiper no swiping. No,
No.
no.
I wasn't a big fan of it.
You weren't a big
What-
fan of Dora the Explorer? Man, that
What
was my
is-
homegirl right there.
What was the swiper and the swiping?
Okay, so in Dora the Explorer,
God.
Let's give a short
All right.
fucking description.
real quick, like,
Let's not go into this too long.
so this little slut always tried to figure
Don't
shit
call her a
out.
slut. Jesus.
Her and her little monkey friend, and no, I'm not talking about
Jesus.
black people. She had a little fucking monkey in
Yeah,
boots.
I know that
with
much.
her.
It wasn't a
Yeah.
literal monkey. Okay.
Wait, it was a literal monkey or wasn't?
It was a monkey.
It was a
Let's
monkey.
Let's leave it at that.
He wore boots. Guess what his name was?
Boots?
That's right. So her and Boots would just go on these random adventures where they'd have to find the fucking barn, or, you know, find a way to some other place, or cross a bridge or something. They always did shit. It was like Scooby-Doo but stupid. And along their little adventures, they'd end up gathering shit, and, you know, every fucking episode, halfway through the episode, the little fox would show up. And the fox would attempt to steal whatever they had been gathering. And Dora explains to the listeners, to the kids who are watching the show, the only way to stop him from stealing this is by saying, "Swiper, no swiping."
Deporting him.
Exactly. You know, you say, "Swiper, no swiping" 3 times. And, you know, he goes, "Oh, man," and runs away. That was the whole thing, the gimmick behind that.
I don't get
He
it.
would show up halfway through the episode. You'd call him out on his bullshit, and he'd take off. I wonder if that would actually stop a robber. If somebody was holding you at gunpoint. You're like, "Gunman, no gunning. Gunman, no gunning. Gunman, no gunning." He drops his gun. "Oh, man!" He takes off. I'm going to try that.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Please wake me up before you do this.
He's going to laugh at me, and I'm going to use that opportunity when he drops his gun. I'm going to pull out my gun and blow his fucking head off his shoulders.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow him. His
You're-
head off his
yeah,
shoulders.
Yeah, you're just gonna blow.
Dude, how fucked up would that be if someone were to break into his house? Let's say we're both gay as fuck, right? So let's say someone breaks in, an attractive young Hispanic man. Let's call him Jose breaks in. So Jose breaks in, kicks in our door. He's going through our shit, and we're gay as fuck, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
The gayest.
the gayest of the gay. And let's say we pull our guns on him. He's like, "Hey, Jose, nobody knows you're here. you're committing a crime. Below us right now.
Why did you have to say it like that? Below us right now.
It's sexy. And so Jose is now in this predicament. Like, fuck. I wish they would just shoot me. Right?
Well,
Elvin
like,
fucked up with
he'd
that.
be a homosexual bigot.
He's
then.
in our house trying to steal our,
Belongings.
gaming consoles and
Yeah.
shit, all our valuables. And then me and James walk out, and I'm holding his big ass shotgun and aiming it right at his fucking chest, center mass. And he's like, "Oh shit!" And I go, "Now this is what's gonna happen, kid. He's gonna suck your dick, and then you're gonna suck his dick,
And I'm gonna watch.
and I'm gonna
This
watch."
just became Pulp Fiction.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
What kind of?
Then I'm gonna come in with a sword, kill both of y'all.
I was gonna
kill one of y'all, and then I'm gonna. Were you good, Jose? Nah, man. I'm pretty fucking far from being okay.
I was gonna say you came in a gimp outfit.
Nope, that's not me.
That's gotta be you, dude.
What a fucked up situation. You have to think at some point, with all the times people have been robbed, someone has done that before. Someone has to have had done that.
No,
Taken them as their sex slave.
Well, I have heard of that. There
Yeah.
was a I want to say it was a year or two ago, where this chick, she was at her house by herself, and this dude tried to come in and rob her, and she chained him up and used him as a sex
Oh,
slave.
I heard about that, but I didn't
I wanna
read
say-
anything about
I
it.
gotta start robbing people.
Just pick the right houses.
Don't threaten me with a good time. That's really crazy.
Yeah, like,
I mean, what do you charge her with? Like, not kidnapping. He came there on his own. He broke in.
yeah, I don't.
Maybe you can make a plea deal.
I don't know what happened to her. Let's see.
She fucking got
Oh.
married to the luckiest man alive. That's what happened.
Olga. Her name was Olga Zajuk or something like that.
Oh, I can totally imagine a chick
Had
named
to.
Olga doing that.
Had to be foreign.
Kept salon robber as a sex slave for 3 days and force fed him Viagra.
Oh man.
Awesome.
Jesus. How'd that dude won the lottery like that?
Yeah, right?
The luckiest motherfucker alive.
It's like 90%.
Well, they blurred her face out. She doesn't look like she would be ugly.
Oh no.
Like
she looks
90% of robbers.
I mean, the blur in her face doesn't do her favors, but
Uh,
she fed him only Viagra.
Yeah, like most robbers, when they get caught in someone else's house, they get their fucking chest blown in and shit like that.
Oh wait, this was in Russia. No
that
fucking.
makes way
Yeah,
more
no
sense.
fucking wonder.
that makes a
Yeah.
lot.
Those
of
fucking crazy ass people over there.
Drinking
Let's see, a Russian
vodka for water.
man who tried to rob a hair salon ended up as the victim when the female shop owner overpowered him, tied him up naked, and then used him as a sex slave for 3 days.
God, Russian women are awesome.
Jesus, that's great.
She overpowered him.
Must have been a little bitch.
Yeah, that's true.
Or either that, maybe she was just tough as fuck. Who knows? Maybe she was a cage
Oh,
fighter.
she's a black belt in karate.
Oh, karate?
Yeah. Huh.
What'd she do? Stance the fuck out of him?
She allegedly floored the would-be robber with a single kick.
Nice.
Probably side kicked him or spinning back kicked him
She
in the
sweeped
chest
the
or
leg.
something
Or
like
the
that.
dick.
Yeah, or the dick.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's probably trying to protect that.
Yeah.
She's like, I need that. I
we'll
need
keep
that for
that.
later.
She swept
yeah.
the leg.
Yeah, she swept the leg. Oh, and they're actually talking about the scene from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
I'm happy
Yeah.
with that.
She said it was to teach him a lesson.
It's a hell of a lesson.
Yeah.
Keep
she
robbing
force fed
people.
him Viagra to keep the lesson going, is what she said.
Jesus fucking Christ. I wonder if he was a little excited at first, and after the,
Yeah, he
the
was like,
second
yeah.
day, he was like, fuck.
Well, when you get force fed nothing but Viagra,
Well, she had to fed him something, or else he'd have no
fuck,
energy.
I wonder if you that fucked him up. Cause like, don't they say if you take it and you have like a boner for more than 4 hours?
Yeah, I think
No, it's
on,
more. It's like more than.
on
it's
the
like,
bottle it says if erections last for more than 4 hours, call more bitches or something like that.
Yeah, but like, can't that like permanently fuck you up or
I
something?
don't.
like
I don't know
that?
anything about Viagra.
I that's what I heard, that it could permanently fuck with you.
I think we might have to call like a phone call with Chris on the line, our leading expert in Viagra.
Oh shit, she when the police showed up to question her, cause she let him go.
Right.
And then he went to the cops and snitched.
Dick probably fell off.
Yeah. And so when the cops showed up to question her, she said,
You're next.
She's like, yes, we had sex a couple of times, but I bought him new jeans, gave him food, and even gave him 1,000 rubles. I'm guessing that's dollars to them. $1,000 when he left. So
What the fuck? Man?
Whoa.
She paid him?
I guess so.
He broke into a lady's house, got 3 days
For
worth of sex, a
salon.
new outfit, and 1,000 currency.
Yeah.
Rubies.
And then reported her to the police.
So what happened to her? Did they give her a reward?
It
or-
doesn't say. It doesn't say what happened. It just talks about Pulp Fiction. A
I
little
hope
bit
they
more.
throw parades for her now. That sounds fucking. I want to
So,
break into her house.
Did they give him the key to the city, or how'd that work?
No, what if it was like on South Park when
Nice.
yeah, that's all they could tell him. Like I tried to rob her, and then she fucking tied me down and raped me for 3 days.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Man, so this is pretty good, right? This is way better than the last one.
Yeah, I mean,
As far as content, you know,
I've only said the N word once so far.
whew, that's a hard word, man. I'm so tired.
Well, there wasn't an R at the end of it, so it's cool. I'm edgy.
Yeah.
I have like 2 black friends, and they've both given me permission to say it, so it's
Oh,
cool.
well, I guess they're just the ambassador of all things black, right?
Oh yeah. Special shout out to the guys who work for me, by the way.
Oh, they work for you. You
Yeah.
probably forced them to give
Yeah.
you permission.
Look, I'm gonna say this word. You guys just have to deal with it, or you're
Or
fired.
you're fired. Now go get me some hot coffee, boy.
Yeah. No, they're actually really cool dudes.
Um,
They probably won't ever listen to this, but they're both really cool dudes.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna keep This Is Gonna Die going. This is for, I mean, as long as everyone that I'm with right now is willing to continue to do it with me, I'm gonna eventually, hopefully next week, I think I'm gonna start doing it. I'm gonna have a little offshoot of this little series. I don't have a name or anything for it yet, but I have, it's pretty much, it's going to be me talking. James, I don't know if you guys have already identified my voice, but it's going to be me talking to other people and who have certain experiences or who are who are in other fields, who know really, man, I'm having a hard time talking tonight, who are proficient in whatever their field is or their experience, who have maybe something had happened to them at some point, maybe they have a really cool job. I'm just going to be talking to people with different experiences and getting, just learning about what they do or what they're into.
He's basically gonna do a sideshow off of This Is Gonna Die. It's gonna be posted by the This Is Gonna Die channel on YouTube and Facebook.
But it'll have a different name.
But
You'll know the difference.
But this show is gonna be a little different. It's gonna be more direct and a little more serious.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be more serious, but it's also gonna be more. It's gonna be one-on-one conversation.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the 3 of us like it is now with guests like Chris or anything. It's
but eventually it will.
it's gonna be James and whoever he deems is right to talk. I guess.
Yeah. Already I've secured this one. A teacher I had in 7th grade. I have 3 teachers throughout my life who I've actually really enjoyed, I've actually learned from. One of them is Mr. Rhodes. He's one of my English teacher in 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy he's so smart, and he's been teaching for such a long time.
Yeah.
And on top of that, man, he's just all around a great guy.
Yeah.
And he's already agreed. I thought you might know him because we went to the same school.
I knew him. We went to the same middle school, not at the same time, but
Yeah.
he was a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah, everybody loved this guy, man.
Yeah.
So I know that his experience or his background as an educator, man, it must be so vast and interesting. I also want to hear what he has to say about modern day public education, because that's a huge thing right now, man.
Yeah, with the introduction to Common Core and
that stuff, I'd love to hear.
all
what he
the
has to
other background politics that goes into the education system. It'd be really nice to hear the perspective of a teacher.
say. Yeah, especially someone that's been doing it for so long, and he's a genuinely educated and good guy, man.
Yeah.
So I guess that's
Just a little something for y'all guys to look forward to coming out.
yeah.
That's gonna be specifically James's side project, so be
Yeah,
on the lookout for that with him.
yeah, I'm gonna do my best to do good on this. I mean, I'm doing research on this about public school. I'm learning the history of it right now, and I just want to do my due diligence, man. I don't want to come into this like an idiot. So.
Yeah.
And every time I have someone on, and depending on their expertise or whatever their background, I'm really going to try to do my best to educate myself on it. Opposed to this, which is obviously a lot more silly.
Yeah, this is a lot more casual. I guess what it is, that's going to be where you specialize in specific topics. It's going to be planned ahead of time. Like this,
with non-scripted.
Yeah, this is non-scripted. We don't even decide what we're going to talk about. It's like before we all get together and. James gets his coffee, Lorenzo makes his smoothie, and I make me some tea. We sit down, and right before we hit record, and we're like, what are we going to do real quick? And be like, what'd you do this weekend? And we hit record, be like, okay, so this weekend I did this. And I think James' little side project is going to be a little more serious. He's going to do his research on whatever he's going to talk about based on whatever guests he's going to have. It's not going to have me in it, so it's probably not going to be as good. But, I mean, you guys will be the deciding factor.
It'll be far less racist. That's for sure.
I don't know about that. I remember Mr. Rhodes, man. Don't
get me started on racism.
don't get Mr. Rhodes started on Hispanic children. I know how he feels about them.
No, he's a good dude.
No, seriously though. Does he listen to these? Do you know?
He may listen to them eventually. I was very vague about what I've done so far because I kind of didn't want him to listen to it.
Well, Mr. Rhodes, if you do listen to this one, I hate you.
Come on.
I'm just kidding. No, like I said, I you probably don't remember me. I don't think he had me as a teacher, but I do remember knowing him of a teacher. Or he didn't have me as a student, but I definitely knew of him, and he seemed like a really nice guy.
He was everyone's favorite teacher.
Even if I'm not going to be in the show or in the recording,
you'll probably see him at some point.
Yeah, I'll probably see him. He'll be walking around my house,
using your bathroom,
using my bathroom,
using your toothpaste.
Yeah, I'll let him borrow my shower towel. Here, dude, clean your crotch with this. Yeah, I look forward to letting him use my shower towel though.
Any last words? I think I want to do this. From now on, I'm going to start doing this outro thing with you guys. I'm going to say any last words. We're going to go around the table. Let's hear your last words. Nick. Get ready. Lorenzo, you're next.
Last word.
Process of elimination says you're next.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, last words?
Last words.
Does it have to be anything specific?
They're your last words, man.
Man, I wish you had let us know you were going to do this before.
No, I wanted to be totally off cuff.
Yeah, I know. Next episode, I'm gonna have something really well prepared.
I won't even ask. If I know you're gonna prepare for it.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not.
I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna be like thinking about the whole show. Like, when's he gonna ask for my last words? Because I have this shit plotted out. I have it planned. Last words. All right. Okay. Two little things I live by.
Oh fuck.
Firstly, nothing in this world is free. There's always something, somewhere you're paying for it.
Alright, so you hate Bernie Sanders, I get it.
And the second thing is, never turn down something that's free. Alright,
so, Bernie Sanders. I don't know if you like him or not.
How am I conservative?
Lorenzo, last words, let's hear it.
May the force be with everyone. Live long and prosper.
Whoa, that's a sin right there.
I'm just trying to get through this.
Live long with prostitution.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh man, that pissed James
off. I was gonna be upset if you picked it
up. He was like, dude, if you butcher this, that's the one out of all the phrases you just said, that's the only one I get.
I get the Jimmy Neutron, the Star Trek one.
Okay,
Jimmy Neutron.
Well, I always heard the "Live Long and Prosper." I always heard that.
That's Star Trek.
No, but didn't he say it? What did Jimmy Neutron always say? I thought he said that too. Like,
got a blast?
Brain blast! Man.
He said something.
Listen here, Jimmy Jam Ham.
I was really fucking tired. I really haven't been sleeping.
Okay, live long, prosper. May the force be with you. With great power comes great responsibility. I'm Batman. That's it.
Nice.
Let's hear it, William.
I feel like that should be put on your tombstone. Like in that order.
Buried here is I'm Batman.
If he messed up to Spider-Man, it would be. All right. So this is gonna die. This is the official episode 3. So
It's 3.1.
3. I'll call it 3.1. We hope you guys enjoyed it, man. I'm very tired. I don't know how this went, but hope you guys enjoyed it. And please listen to the next one. Go to our page, subscribe.
And go fuck yourself.
Go to our Facebook page, like the page if you feel like it. We'll be updating on there.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a video thing down also.
Yeah, go ahead and please subscribe if you haven't already. Please subscribe to our YouTube. The more y'all subscribe, the more you'll know when new episodes come out.
Yeah.
It's greatly appreciated. I mean, we don't get anything out of it.
I'm really hoping, like, this is fun, man, but I'm really hoping to turn this into a business venture at some point. I would really like to invest money into this, better equipment,
I don't want to.
promotion. I'd really like to,
No.
because nobody will hire me. All right, guys. We appreciate your time.
Love you.
Turn in next Sunday. Later, guys.